Hello everybody, welcome to this vlog. My name is Satya. As part of this vlog, I will discuss about the difference between CNF and VNF. In the last two vlogs where I discussed about Nokia, CBAM, CBs and NCS components, what role they play in network virtualization for Nokia, and how as a device provider Nokia caters to different internet service providers, right? So let's dwell into the topic where I discuss difference between virtual network function and cloud native network function, right? So the first thing, what is VNF? So VNFs are VM based. They are installed on a dedicated VMware or dedicated VMs, right? Virtual machines, and they are usually managed by OpenStack, right? So that is, for example, OpenStack. Packaging, it comes with VM images and the descriptors, right? So granularity is VNF component is usually a whole VM itself, right? One VNF will cover the complete VM. Scaling, just add the VMs, virtual machines, then you can scale the virtual network functions with respect to CPU control cycles or the memory. Lifecycle management. VNF, in case of Nokia, the VNFs are managed by a Nokia CBAM, that is Cloud Band Application Manager. And for the configuration of these VNFs, it is heavily relying on EMS, right? So what are the networking aspects? How different components speak to each other with respect to networking? They usually use open switches like Open vSwitch, SRIOE, and DPDK for data plane performance. Typical era, as I discussed in the previous vlog, is usually 4G EPC, that is 4G end of cycle, and 5G, early 5G architecture. Pros, mature ecosystem because the complete VM is dedicated to each VNF, that is virtual network function. That is, it leverages VM isolation. Each VM will have a one dedicated network function, virtual network function. So VM isolation is there. What are the cons? What are the disadvantages of it? Heavier footprint, slowly it scales, right? Because it takes time for it to scale. So this is what VNF is. In short, in summary, I would like to tell that VNF is virtual network function where each network function occupies a complete VM. The networking functionality between different components is taken care by Open vSwitch or the VM's networking functionality, right? Is not easy to scale because if you want to increase the CPU control cycles and the memory footprint, then you have to increase the VMs, right? And packaging usually delivered as VM images plus descriptors, usually EAT or OVF, depending. OVF is for VMware, right? So I hope you guys understood what is virtual network function. Now, what is cloud native network function? Execution environment, it runs in containers orchestrated by Kubernetes, right? And it is spread over multiple systems. The control CPU control life cycle or CPU execution cycle is taken from multiple VMs, right? It's not a single VM that will be dedicated to the control cloud native network function. Packaging delivered as OCI container images and Helm charts, right? Granularity, this is very important. There it was one VM per VNF. Here it is each microservice is one container, and there might be multiple containers distributed over different VMs, right? So dozens of small pods. Pods means these are smaller granular components which make up the application or the cloud native network function as a whole, right? These pods might be running in different VMs so that they can optimize the utilization of CPU life cycle, the CPU control or CPU execution cycle, right? Life cycle management. That is, in VNF, they are managed using Nokia CBAM. If we are using CNFs, then they are managed using Nokia Container Services. And Nokia Container Services has Kubernetes orchestrating over the containers containing different pods, right? Then networking. Usually they are called as CNI plugins, something which is comes with OpenStack. They are called as Multus, Calico, SROE, CNI, DPDK, eBPF. So these are the things. So these are different network components built so that the networking of the pods can be made across the VMs, right? So just imagine there are like 100 VMs, out of which for example, if you have cloud native network function as SIP server, and SIP server has different microservices, each microservices is distributed into pods, right? PODs, and they are containerized or managed, orchestrated over different VMs, so that they use the CPU and the memory of different VMs, so that it's not dedicated to each VM itself. Pros: lighter weight, because it is distributed over different VMs, so the scaling will easily happen quicker. It's not like adding VMs, it's just adding more pods, right? More microservices, you will increase the processing power or the memory footprint of a SIP server or any cloud native network function. What are the cons? There are cons also, right? Requires telco grade Kubernetes tuning. So for example, if you're using a Kubernetes Kubernetes container service of Nokia, that is Nokia Container Service, then you have to stick to with that. Then ecosystem still maturing, so it is not completely stable, so you will see a lot of issues, right? So this is a quick difference, friends. First thing is VNF is virtual network function which occupies a single VM, and scaling is difficult, right? The networking is usually carried out by the open vSwitch, which comes with the VM itself, right? And VNF can be again SIP server, right? A SIP server, it cannot be distributed into microservices to make it lighter. It has to be a complete VNF which gets installed on a one single VM. So if that breaks down, then we have to think about load balancing, or how it is transferred, the operating thing functions or shifts to a different VNF, which is again installed in a separate virtual machine itself, right? CNF is cloud native network function which is distributed into multiple microservices which are called as pods. So it's easy to scale. You increase the pods, microservices, the VNF becomes much more stronger and robust, right? So what are the cons? Still, ecosystem is evolving, and since we have already entered 5G era for some time, so the core 5G and RAN cloud native functions are instantiated using Kubernetes container service, which is Nokia Container Service. NCS is used to manage CNFs, maintain, instantiate, understand the alarms, get the alarms from the CNFs and see what is going wrong. So this is the major difference between VNF and CNF. Hope it is clear. If you like the video, please press the like button. If you are not subscribed, do subscribe to it and forward the video if it is helpful to you, to other people, so that they can also learn from it. And do comment if you need more details. Okay, thank you. Bye.